Contrary, doing it different. Contrary, doing it different. Contrary, doing it different.
Welcome to the channel. I'm John X Army, and today's video is very, very important. I want you to share this video with your friends and family and anyone who you truly love, because we all have a big decision to make, and that's whether or not we're going to let them implant a digital ID in our body. I'm talking about ID 2020, which is a digital identification system that they're calling for every human being to have in their body within the next 2 to 4 years. And we'll come back to ID 2020 in a moment. First, I want to talk about the real ID. If you don't know what the real ID was, the original date was every American had to have it by October 1st, 2020. I believe that date's been pushed back because of COVID-19. But the real ID is for people who have a state-issued ID or a state-issued driver's license. If they want to be able to fly on planes, enter secure buildings, enter federal buildings, they have to upgrade those forms of identification to what's called a real ID. And it's a more secure ID. I'm sure it'll probably have a little chip on it. And they're saying if you don't do that, you'll no longer be able to fly, enter federal buildings, enter any type of secure facility. Now, this real ID is laying the groundwork for ID 2020. It's getting everybody all their information on a digital system so that they can easily upgrade them from real ID to ID 2020. Now, if you don't know, Microsoft has partnered with the ID 2020 Alliance, and they've also patented the chip, the technology that will run on a blockchain sharing information. It will hold your medical records, your financial information, such as your bank account, your dollars. It'll have everything about you on this chip that gets embedded under the skin. And they're going to make it mandatory for everyone. Let me read a brief portion of this article, and then we'll talk more. Last year, Microsoft joined ID 2020, a global alliance whose goal is to create universal digital identities for everyone. Our digital activity increasingly parallels our real-world activity. Participation in the modern economy, the ability to buy and sell, attain employment, get health care, receive social services, and more are going to be virtually impossible without a digital identity. In May of 2016, the United Nations headquarters in New York, ID 2020, an alliance of governments, nonprofits, academia, and over 150 private sector companies and 11 United Nations agencies collaborated on how to provide this unique digital identity to everyone on the planet. Most coverage of the ID 2020 Alliance focuses on its noble objective to provide digital identities to the over 1 billion refugees, women, children, and others who don't have any form of identification. So this is how they're going to implement it. They're going to give it to refugees to make it normal. They're going to give it to women and children who have no idea what's real and what's fake, who basically sound broke and starving. The same way they went around the world and gave vaccines that made people sick, they actually spread disease, and it's been proven. Testing. They're going to give this ID 2020, this digital chip, to women and children, refugees around the world. That's how they're going to introduce it. They're planning to give it to billions as soon as it's released in the next few years. Microsoft, you guys probably saw the article I did in yesterday's video talking about Microsoft's patent 060606. And there are some more numbers to that. That's not the exact patent, but it's creepy, okay? That the end of the patent is 060606. They're coming together with this digital ID, and you're going to have to decide if you're going to take it or not. Now, I know everybody in the comment section, you're all going to say, no, I'm not taking it. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet 90% of you will take it. And before we talk about the implications of not taking it, let me tell you, they can take my money, they can take my freedom, they can take my house, they can take my car, they can shut off my bank account, they can not allow me to purchase groceries, and I'm still not getting a digital ID over my dead body. No one will ever vaccinate me again, and no one will ever implant anything in my skin. And that's a fact, I promise you. So you know my standpoint, and I know that 90% of you guys are going to say, no, you won't get it. But have you thought about the implications? You can't go to the grocery and buy food. You can't cash out your 401k. You can't have a bank account. You can't buy or sell anything. You can't get a job. You can't go to school. You can't travel on planes, trains, or buses. You can't get a driver's license. So out of the 90% of the people that say no, they're not going to get it, unfortunately, I believe most of you are. You know what I mean? And that's really sad. Now, if you're one of the people screaming that you're not going to allow them to embed a chip in your body, what are you doing to prepare? Have you started buying gold and silver? Have you started growing a garden? Do you have a room full of canned goods and prep food and seeds? Do you have survival tools? Do you have weapons? You need to start planning now because it's coming within the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, you're going to have to make the decision to either become a criminal and walk away from society and hide off grid, or move place to place and never buy or sell, or take their chip. You're going to have to decide. And for those of you with children, you're going to have to decide for them too. Are you going to allow them to get the chip, or are you going to keep them in hiding? And if you are going to keep them in hiding, how are you going to take care of them? Start planning now. If you're not taking the chip, you better get some goats, maybe some cows, maybe some chickens, whatever you can fit on your property. You better grow a garden. You better buy those water filters I was pushing last year from SD Bullion. Use discount code WOKE. Get 7% off at checkout. Go down in the description below. You better get these things, because you're going to need them, or you're going to be forced to take the chip. Things are about to change like we never even imagined possible. They're pushing this hardcore, and they're going to make it happen. I think the only thing we can do is, those of us who aren't going to receive their chip, is to start prepping big time right now and hope that the government doesn't take it before we get a chance to use it. Maybe buy 10 acres out in the wilderness somewhere. Do whatever you can do, but if you're not going to take their chip, you need to be prepared. I hope this video wakes you up. I hope you don't ignore this and just go on to the next thing. I hope you share this with your friends and family, and I hope you decide and make a plan for whatever your decision is going to be. Now, they're going to put human beings on the chip, okay? That digital interface, that Wi-Fi, that Internet of Things, 5G around the globe, everything's connected to the internet. And when you get out of line, when you do something they don't like, they're going to turn your chip off. You guys understand me? This is a way to control the world. They're going to turn off your money. They're going to turn off your freedom with the flip of a switch. Just like the Pentagon released that video planning for 2030 megacities. They said they want plans in place to be able to lock down sections of the city, shut off the water, cut off the food supply, cut off the electricity. We see that happening right now with the stores because of COVID. One person per car, per household is allowed in the store. Then I shared the article yesterday. They're saying, you know what? Experts are saying it's not safe for you to even go in the store at all and do your shopping. They want it delivered to your house from now on. Do you know why that is? It's so they can shut off the food whenever they want. They can lock up the doors to all the local grocery stores and say it's over. And you're sitting in your house with no food. We do not want to become completely dependent on the system to deliver our groceries, to feed us, to clothe us. You need to be able to live off the land. You need to be able to get eggs from chickens and slaughter cows. I know in today's day and age, that's not realistic, right? We're all living in subdivisions. But I'm telling you what they're going to do. They're going to be able to shut your chip off, and they're going to be able to stop the supply of food instantly. And that's their plan. They will have complete control over every single one of us. I love you very much. Share this video. Hit the thumbs up. It really helps out. Hitting the thumbs up is the best way to support my channel. Thank you very much.
John X Army signing out from the belly of the beast.